The intended use of this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the host and guests independently, and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Updog Challenge Incorporated, its sponsors, or any other partnered organizations. Updog Challenge Incorporated does not guarantee the accuracy or reliability of any opinions expressed. In no way should the information provided during the Sweet Spot and Updog podcast be considered veterinary, medical, legal, or professional advice. At all times, the advice of your personal professional should supersede any information provided, derived, or inferred from listening to this podcast.
Ready, set, go.
Welcome to the Sweet Spot, an Updog podcast. I'm Andre Morissette.
And I am Jack Faley. And we've got a special guest today. Super excited for our guest. Who's our guest, Dre?
We have Rowe Galt as our guest today. Give it up for Rowe. That's actually the closest club to where I live. They're down in Georgia. But Rowe, we would love you to tell all of our listeners a little bit about yourself, where you're located, maybe a little about your amazing dogs.
So I'm the founder runner of Forest City Sport Dogs. We are in the Metro Atlanta area. I'm personally southwest of Atlanta. My field, which is the Bright Side, I know Dre and Jack have both been to. That's about an hour and a half away from me, but it's a great field, probably one of the best we have in Georgia. And you definitely always have wind there. You never have to miss the wind at the Bright Side. As for my dogs, the most notable dog that most people probably know me through is Miraculous Ladybug. She's going to be, I think, 8 this year. She was rescued with a cage card that said mixed blend. And she's actually not my dog. She's actually my spouse's dog, Adrian's. But she doesn't know that. And her first love in life was always running. And so we eventually found Disc through friends. And she's just taken me from dachshund owning pet guy to running my own club, going to world championships, and coming up with games as well as other events that we may see more of in the next couple years. But she's amazing.
I didn't know that she was Adrian's dog.
Yeah. That's the running joke, that she's not my dog. She's a borrowed dog.
It doesn't count if you're in the same household, but wait a minute, dachshund?
Yeah, I grew up with dachshunds. If you ever seen the paw print on my hand, that's my first dog, Max. Real clever name, I know. But I had dachshunds my whole life, and a very small number of people met the last dachshund I had if they were coming to Forest City events in the first couple years. But yeah, I grew up with dachshunds, little dogs. I mean, that's why I mostly have little dogs. I've always been a little dog person. I like big dogs. I can get along with them, but they're more expensive.
And they slam with you harder, and they're harder to catch.
Yeah. We have a rule in my house. They have to be scoopable.
How many scoopable dogs do you have, Jack?
Scoopable?
I think you have one.
I mean, Spice and Wham are pretty scoopable.
Yeah, Spice, I think, would not be happy about being scooped.
No, she would not be happy, but she could be scooped.
She's technically not scoopable.
Yeah.
Not safely scoopable, right?
I guess, yeah. All right. Well, the reason that we have Rowe on today, you guys, I know, have all heard about the beta testing of the Updog Community's games that they put together. We've got a really great batch of beta games that everybody, as you guys plan out your events and you are playing the games, you should definitely pull up one of these beta games, try them out, and then give the folks feedback. Rowe submitted 2 beta games, and one of them we actually chatted about briefly. Dre and I chatted about briefly when we did our episode just on the beta games, that the beta games were out there. But we thought it'd be great to allow the creators of the games to come on rep their games, tell us a little bit about it, and see if we can't drum up some business for each of these different games to get people to try them out, and see which games kind of rise to the top and become our community's favorites. So Row has two games. One of them is called Double Down, and we're going to start with that one. So I am going to shift here and pull up the field for Double Down. Right. All right.
Okay.
Oh, so is this my players meeting?
Yeah,
Oh, that's actually not a
that's
bad
a great way to
idea.
start. That's a great way to start. So
There
yeah,
we
go
go.
ahead and give us a players meeting for Double Down.
All right, so Double Down is a 60-second game, up to 8 discs, and your goal is to get catches in same point value zones, basically. You can see right around this little circle that says TC, that's the throwing circle. And I actually want you to be entirely in that circle. I don't want you to be straddling like how you can with spaced out. Because my idea here was I want a little bit of an increase in difficulty from four-way play, and staying right in that circle makes it so it's like a 4-yard throw. If you can straddle that, now it's almost the same distance as four-way play in some instances. But moving on past the throwing circle, so all throws originate within this throwing circle. Your dog has to start like foot on the line. I know you may not be able to fit your dog in there. So human starts in the throwing circle, dog starts in or on the line, and then you have 60 seconds to try and get as many points as you can. Here's where the Double Down name comes into play. If you're able to get 4 consecutive catches in point zones of the same face value, you're going to double that score now. So a 2, 2, 2, and 2 goes from only being worth 8 points being worth 16 points. So it really values accuracy as well as kind of awareness of what you're doing on the field. That being said, you cannot just sit and hit the same zone over and over and over again. You have to alternate between at least 2 zones. Obviously, I've kind of set it up so that you have this nice, perfect around the world figure for the 2s and the 3s. But where you're going to get more points and more difficulty is the farther away you go. So I have my 9s diagonally across from the field, as well as my 8s and my 6s. This is actually where I kind of had to figure out what I wanted to do, because initially I had like the 9s parallel or mirrored. So like on this right side, there was a 9 in the top right corner and the 9 in the bottom right corner. And I didn't like the idea of just sending my dogs zigzagging, because I still wanted this movement around the field. So that's where the diagonal came into play. And like I said, kind of before we started recording, I haven't gotten to play this game myself, so I would kind of be really curious to see the point value or the points that people end up earning, and if these zones might need a little tweaking. Because when you start doing 9 times 4 times 2, it goes from the 16 points we saw with the 2 cubed to now 72 points. So there's quite a big range of points that can be earned if you're able to complete the Double Down bonuses successfully.
But the zones don't get eliminated, right? They don't. It's not
Correct.
like
No.
So you just can't tap the same zone twice
Yeah, like spaced out
in a row. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can never double tap anything. But that's why I have the 9s opposite, because you can still go across the field. Although, the farther away you are, and especially in those corner zones, that can get really tricky to hit that accurately, because in this game, leading edge is always in play. Leading edge of the disc roll.
I don't have to hit them in a row, right?
Yes. So you're not hitting the same zone over and over again like a double tap, but you do need to get like if you're going for a double down streak of the 2s, you need to get 2 4 times to get that doubled bonus.
And I can't, like, if I accidentally got a 3, then I'm done. Or like, say I was doing it around the world, I got a 2, a 2, a 2, and I accidentally hit the 3 instead of the 2. Can I still get this 2 and this 2, and then I've got 4? Or did I mess it up because I hit the 3?
Yeah, so if you in the middle of a streak hit another number and didn't earn four, a streak of four, that's going to, what did I say? If I scroll down, so can you scroll down? Because I put like judging notes in there. Let me see if I can find it on my end. I put like specific verbiage. It may be. Okay.
It says maybe it's this bullet here.
It's actually it's judging notes at the bottom. So
Oh, okay.
announce point zone values of each catch. Catch number 1 in 2-point zone. Announce miss is miss. Announce ended unsuccessful streaks as 2-point streak ended. Announce new streaks as 3-point streak started. So that's what would happen. So if you got catch number 1 and 2, catch number 2 and 2, catch number 3 and 2, and then you got catch number 1 and 3. 2-point streak ended, 3-point streak started. So you still get the points for those 2-point zone catches, but now your streak has begun in the threes. So this is kind of where that awareness of what's happening on the field comes in. Because if you're in your flow and catch in 3 happens, now you have to I now have to reassess where I'm throwing next. You obviously, if you don't want to go for the threes, you obviously can continue on with 2 and restart the streak. You're never going to lose points. So like if you never start a true streak, like if you only ever go 2, 3, 6, 8, like if you're kind of all over the place, you're still going to get those points. You're just not going to be able to earn a double down bonus. Yeah.
And I was thinking like, okay, well, maybe these are only bonus. Can you go back up, Jack? Because it looks better to see. I like this. I like seeing the game field. I was thinking that, oh, well, I guess the streaks are only for 2s and 3s, but you can go back and forth. So they can go 6, 6, 6, 6, or they could do 8, 8, 8, 8. But that's going to be 50 yards. So
Harder.
that's all they'll have time to do. 9,
Yeah,
9, 9,
it
9
is.
would be all they'd
Yeah,
have time to do.
that'd
with
be
one of them.
50-yard sprints back and
Yeah.
forth for the double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
if
that's
we,
where
if
it's
we
like-
went for the double and 9s, which any competitive team is going to go for the double and 9s, right?
But getting it 4 times is where it's going to be a lot more difficult.
Yeah, it'll be difficult.
But that would be 72 points,
But that would be
right?
72 points, and you don't have to run 3s and 2s a bunch of times. You
Yeah.
only got to throw it accurately 4 times.
And
Boom, boom,
really,
boom.
like, I know it feels like running 50 yards, like, oh, when we go from like a kind of that toss and fetch
It's
feel, so you only
20-yard
get 5
throw.
throws. Yeah, it's really only that 20-yard throw. If you're able to place it right over that corner into that with that leading edge in the 9, now your dog is only running that. Really, it's only about 15, 16 yards. They do have to come back, to go back to
I
the
was
other
going to
side.
say, when they come back, then it's 40 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's
So
not,
it's-
like you
it's
said, it's
down.
not unlike throw and go, though. I mean, they're going to have to do that. If they'd be running 5 40-yard, runs and throw and go.
Yep. Yeah,
It-
just
yeah,
it's a strategy
the
decision.
time it would take to go through that and how many more options there would be. Like if the most competitive teams are going for 9s, everyone's going to come out and shoot 9s to try and get those 4 catches.
I mean, if
unless
you
they
had,
become-
go
What
ahead,
if you
Dre.
could only double down the 2s and the 3s?
Yeah, I think I would I'd try to do a quick like 1, 2, 3 around here. That'd be my go do a quick quad, basically, quick 4-way play quad.
Yeah.
And then hit the 9, 9, 9, 9 to close it out.
Yep.
And don't mess up.
No mistakes.
Just get good. That's it.
Yeah.
And disc management. Well, how many discs are allowed? That's 8, so that's perfect.
8.
That's 8. That was 8 throws, so
You don't even have to pick up.
Yeah.
great. As long as I don't miss anything.
All right, so go run it and let us know how long it takes, Jack.
Okay. All right.
And there is an active bonus. So if the team's final completed catch is the 4th in a streak of 4 for a successful double down bonus, the double down bonus score receives an additional point zone value of the 4th catch. So if you were able to get those 9s, those 4
Give you
9s
an
in a
extra
row,
zone.
yeah,
An
you get an
extra
extra
point.
zone.
That's cool.
So
if you're scoring 8s, then you get 8 points extra. If you're scoring 2s, then you get 2 points extra. Like
I initially, when I was initially writing it, I was like, and then they double it again. I'm like, that's crazy.
that
point
would be
scoring.
crazy. That's
Yeah,
what I was
I'm like,
afraid
that
you were
needs to
gonna say. I was like, oh, now we're getting crazy.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's gonna get out of hand real quick. people are gonna get silver ups with 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Do you want me to pull up the score sheet?
Yeah, you can. I'm on my work laptop and its trackpad is not cooperating very well. So
All right. Can you guys see the score sheet now?
yes.
So do you want to just run through real quick, Ro? Like how would we mark this as a judge? What would we do?
So like in 7 Up, you're gonna be doing 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna be counting at them out. You're not just doing tallies or dashes or whatever. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever you get to. So that way we can keep track of, for the judging purposes, was there a double tap? Where did the streak start? Where did it end? And if you get to your streak of 4, you're gonna circle that, and then you start wherever they go next.
But if they just do 2s over and
then
over
you're
again?
never going to circle anything. You're still just gonna, mark your 1, 2, 3, 4 sequentially, but you're just never going to circle anything for the double down. And it's so I haven't used this score sheet myself, but the only time you're going to mark something besides a number or circling the number is if they're able to get that active sweet spot bonus, and that's where you're going to put a check mark on it. So if you're just mathing it out, you'll see if I got a streak of 2, a double down bonus, I'm gonna notate that. If I got 1 streak of 2, I'm gonna notate that by going 2, 4, 6, 8 times 16, and then I put that in the 2-point total. Same if you just get onesie twosies of other catches.
Yeah, I wonder if somebody went 2, 2, 2, 2 and got a streak, and then did it again, 2, 2, 2, 2 and got a streak, and did it again, 2, 2, 2, 2, like they were running 4-way play.
Yeah.
How would you notate multiple streaks?
You're just circling. So if I'm getting my first streak, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, circle the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, circle the 8. You're just circling where that 4th catch happens. So it is kind of.
Oh, so if it happens in the same zone, you'd have to put multiple circles around the same number is really the only thing.
Oh, it's not around the same number. So it's like in 7-Up where they can choose any catch zone. You're writing the number 1 for the first catch, the number 2 for the second catch, 3 for the third catch. If you only, if you only have the 8 discs and you only use them, you're only going to be counting up to the 8. Because like you guys said, that's quite a lot of discs to get through on this field. I imagine we may see people get to like 12, but I wouldn't imagine getting past that, but look at 4-way play and fragility, what's happened there.
Yeah, right. Like never
have exceeded expectations. Yeah. So I did want to leave enough space, especially in the 2s and 3s. And this is where like you guys have a much better, like your score sheets. I struggled making the score sheet. I'm like, I don't have a template. I don't even remember exactly where I found this. But we could certainly like tweak the field so that there's more writing space on there. My idea was just use the blank space like underneath the numbers, and that's why I put them up towards the top of the boxes instead of right smack in the middle, so that there was room underneath. I've learned I'm a pretty conservative writer on my judging sheets. As the more other head judges I've brought in, I'm like, oh, that's a very large number 2 right there. So it's just I tend to write very small, but I know others don't, and we need more space on that.
That seems cool. I'd be really interested. I think this is one of those games that we have an idea in our head of how it might go, but we might be very, very surprised on how it ends up actually like shaking out. That'd be cool.
I mean, we already know that there's lots of people who can do 4 quads. So if you did 4 perfect quads, that's 4 times 24, right?
Yeah. But here's the thing: you can't stand at the corners. So you're not going to be able to pick up your disc as quickly as in 4-way play. So like what in 4-way play we see like the most successable is the Z pattern, where you do a cash send. Yeah, you still have to stay in that throwing circle. So your dog has to have has to be able to either bring them back to you if you want to be the most efficient. So like we may see that it actually makes sense to like say throw to the 3 in the top left, and then go diagonally across the field so the dog drops it at your feet on the way to that
like
other
bullseye, kind of like
Like
bullseye.
bullseye,
That's actually where the inspiration came from.
yeah. Blake's gonna kill this game.
So can you? So you can't.
I have to judge it.
You can go retrieve discs though, right?
Yeah, you can always leave just
You just
all
circle
your
and come
throws.
back. Okay.
Yeah, all your throws have to originate from within the throwing circle. I
Yeah,
just wanted that little bit of difficulty increase from 4-way play.
Yeah, I like that little circle thing.
Yeah, and this game is ironically starkly different to the next game that I made, because in this game you don't necessarily have to move that much. It is kind of a stand and plant game where if your dog is able to bring stuff back to you efficiently, you can stay there the whole time. But if you're Ladybug, you're going to leave the disc out in the middle of the field. Just like Spice.
Yeah, she was notorious for that. All right, my head. I got some brainstorming. I'm looking at the numbers, trying to figure out what would be the best bet. Like if someone did 4 quads, would they beat me? If I did 1 quad and then the 4 nines, I got to figure this one out. This is
That's what I'm
cool.
saying. That'll be fun to play.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, updoggers out there, check this one out. Give it a shot. Remember that for every beta game in the drive, there is a document there that you can leave questions or feedback for the creators. So please leave Rowe some feedback. Even if you played it and there were no issues, you don't have any questions, let them know. Like, hey, we played it. It worked out great. Score sheet worked great. Blah, blah, blah. I'm sure he would love to know that. So definitely give some feedback to Rowe on this one, and we're gonna jump into the next game. The next game is
Fast
why
Lane.
not forgetting the name? Fast Lane. Yes, I can picture it. I can picture the field. I keep forgetting the name. All right.
I definitely didn't lobby this to you multiple times at UpDiff.
Right. Jack, hey, I know you're on the way to wherever, but here, I just need 2 minutes. All right. Dre, why don't you talk with Rowe for a second while I pull up the next document?
Yeah, so Fastlane, Jack and I had already talked about. So like this one is like burned into my memory. Like I feel like I've played it already.
I think I burned it into Jack's memory, honestly.
It definitely looks like a super fun game to play. And I think
I've gotten a lot of feedback on this one in particular. I also got
played it.
I don't know if a lot of people have played it. I know at least one club did, and they just had a lot of feedback to go through, like in the drive. And they played it before I had a chance to. And I know they also played it on an altered field. Maybe they didn't have all the equipment for it. But they actually kind of brought up something that I didn't spend as much time on because I just couldn't think of a good answer to it. Was at the time I didn't know what I wanted the sweet spot bonus to be. Because really the game doesn't, like when I was originally building, I'm like, it doesn't really line you up to like put yourself in a, like, I kind of toss it aside and it's like, oh, if you finish the game, you get a sweet spot bonus. Well, since then, I got a chance to play it, and one of my players, Daniel Benet, who actually made the Dislog tracking app, he's one of my regulars. He and his wife came up with a 7-Up inspired sweet spot. So the 2 is obviously where our sweet spot lives. And what they said and suggested, and I really liked this, is if you're able to make your 3rd completed catch in the sweet spot, that would be your sweet spot bonus. So like in 7-Up, where if you're able to make your 5th catch in the sweet spot, that's your sweet spot bonus. So I like that because that also requires you to be aware of what's happening and plan your route and where you're going to place your throws accordingly. And also you have to be accurate because this game, as opposed to Double Down, is you will be moving. There is no sitting back and waiting for anything to happen on this game. I wanted something that was high energy. Ironically, I'm not an agility person, but I felt that the agility games kind of lacked that like really high energy, like on the tip of your, like on the edge of your seat kind of situation. Because 7 Up is the most that you kind of are like, oh, how fast was that? But it kind of ends with a, and you step into it. So I wanted something a little more energetic. And the inspiration actually came from an incredible dog challenge game called 30 Weaving Back. And if anyone hasn't seen it, it is a line of 30 weave poles, a tunnel, and the dogs, or actually, no, is it 15 or 30? I think
No, it's 30.
It is
30.
30. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if it was added or just 30. But so the dogs, and they have it in a race, which is also really fun. And that's kind of where you see like there's 2 lanes of this. Obviously, the dogs aren't going to be racing, but it has that feel of there's 2 lanes to it. So the dogs in 30 Weaving Back, they try and do 30 weaves as fast as they can. They take a tunnel and then do 30 weaves on the way back. And it's a super high energy game to watch. I actually got into dog sports watching things like Incredible Dog Challenge and Crufts on YouTube. So it was kind of full circle that I was inspired by one of the games I watched to make another version that was just kind of tip of the hat to it. So in Fastlane, you have 3 discs, 60 seconds, and this is a timed game like Time Warp and 7 Up, and it is a full field game. I could be entertained to allow or disallow the first 2 obstacles if people just don't have 8 obstacles. But if you're running 7 Up, you already have 7. And at this point, we're probably seeing most clubs with hoops. And those first 2 are interchangeable with jumps or hoops. So I feel like at this point, most clubs that are doing agility games probably have this equipment, maybe not the tunnel. But once again, thanks to the new allowance of the hoops, you can throw a hoop down at the end in place of the tunnel. Also, if it's wet, I would recommend that because I don't like running in a wet tunnel. So yes, it's a lot of equipment, but I would rather everyone have the equipment because the way you play this game is you want to take an obstacle and then get one of your catch zones. You do not have to take the catch zones and the number that they are ordered, and they're all worth the same amount of points. Actually, no, they're worth their face value points, but you still have to complete them just like in Time Warp. So get an obstacle catch, obstacle catch, obstacle catch. And then this is where the finishing sequence comes into play. And the finishing sequence can start on either side of the field. So it's going to start with a jump and then go tunnel and then jump, 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 assuming you're running all jumps. There in the rules, you can interchange the first 2 in the 0 to 10 and then the obstacles in the 30 to 40. Those can be interchanged with like hoops, jumps, or weaves if you are so inclined to throw weaves in there. Obviously, the weaves are worth a different number of points. You can't throw the tunnels in because the zones are just, in my opinion, a little. I don't want jumps in the finishing sequences, or a tunnel in that jump grid is what that looks like. Anyone who's done any agility would recognize that this is basically an expanded jump grid. And when we were playing at my club, we actually found I went and demoed it first, and I took Ladybug, who I've not trained her in agility. She just is really good at reading my lines, and she's never seen a jump grid before. I went to go start it, and I send her to this bottom left jump, and she just starts taking the jump grid. And I'm like, come back. She just started going on her own, and I had to bring her back to get the catch in 1. But I want all those jumps down there or at the top available because you can use the obstacles on any side of the field. You technically could also use the tunnel because it's worth more points, but now you have to run all the way down to the end and you're bringing your dog back for 3 catches. It's really not time efficient to do that, but it is technically allowable. Like Jack has said, if there's no rule against it, it's allowed. So my idea of this, I think at the bottom of this page, you can kind of see the original idea I had. If you go all the way down where I had the example score sheet. Yeah, so in this example, I had hoops in the 0 to 10 yard obstacle zones. I had a jump up in the top in the 30 to 40, and then 6 weaves were down at the bottom just to show where it would go on the sheet itself. So my first obstacle was that hoop, and then my dog took or got a catch in 1. The second obstacle was the jump above the 1, and then they went to the 2. Third obstacle was the jump above the 2, and then they got a catch in the 3. And then this is where the finishing sequence came in. So once they get their 3 catches, they are now able to go from either side. So they could have gone 6 weaves, tunnel, jump, 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 hoop, or they could go jump, tunnel, 6 weaves, jump, jump, hoop. The dog must complete the finishing sequence. Like you have to be able to take it, even if you like knock a bar, you have to take it in order to complete it. And this is where there's been, like I said, there's been a lot of feedback on it. So let me go see if I can find what people have said, because I've like I said with the sweet spot bonus, changing it from just finishing to, if you're able to time your third catch to be in the sweet spot, you'll get the bonus there. Okay, here was my preposition to changing the verbiage surrounding the finishing sequence. The obstacle in the 40 to 50 yard zone, tunnel or hoop, must be taken in order to successfully complete the finishing sequence. Missed jumps, whether the jump leading into the tunnel or jumps taken after, will not be penalized. The points are simply missed unless attempted again, in flow, and completed successfully. So that was the one verbiage change I kind of had. There's, like I said, that feedback document has a lot on it. It's at least 2 pages long now. But this is a game that we saw handlers were running. And I imagine agility people will be excited to kind of put that distance send to use, as well as dogs already knowing like to follow the flow and take the obstacles in front of them. The biggest thing we saw that were holding people back was them getting to the line at the end. I don't think any of us expected the dogs to be able to finish the sequence quite as quickly as they were, which looking back, it's like we all should know, it's like, yes, our dogs are much faster than us.
Yeah.
But the way to succeed in this event is there's really 2 ways. Either you're really fast and your dog is going to follow the line, or you can handle your dog at a distance. So you're either going to rely on your physical prowess or your training ability to really kind of work that agility angle that I know all my crossover people are kind of screaming for: more agility, more agility. I'm like, here's the agility. If you want to do well in this game and set records, you have to have basically a distance, send, and verbal cues. Because like when I did the game with Ladybug, I should have called out, hoop or jump and then catch. Because she, like I said, she just started taking that jump grid. I think she took 2 obstacles in front of her before I was able to get her back. And you only get credit for the first obstacle before a catch. So you can't just sit and hit, obstacles 3 times in a row to try and farm points there. It's like funky. You get 1 obstacle, 1 catch.
Yeah. And I was actually... Go ahead, Jack.
Go ahead. Go, Dre.
One of the things that I was actually thinking, and somebody addressed on here, to have an option of just running a one side of the field version of the game.
I saw that, and clubs, I think they can do what they want at that point, but what's going to happen is if the dog knocks any bars, now that bar is no longer in play and you can't get points for the finishing sequence in it. I absolutely would not want the tunnel or the hoop to be switched out for a jump, because that's basically, you have to complete that. But playing with one side, like if you can't, I would say that's permitted if you're short on equipment, but you're also possibly shooting yourself in the foot if your dog's knock bars.
But that's the case anyway. Or you have to run one whole side on the way down to avoid that.
And that's when I was initially making it on paper, that's what I thought would make sense, because I think I printed out a sheet of paper, and my idea was playing like the top side of the field at first, and then saving the bottom for your finishing sequence. In playing it, though, we actually started to think, because like you guys know, I have Blake Kilborn, who's a really high level competitor, and Daniel Bennett, who's also a very high level competitor. And the more we were kind of watching it play out, we're like, it kind of makes sense to take your first obstacle, get your catch, and then send the dog like kind of in the flow that they're already going to an obstacle across the field. So just like so many games, like what we intend may not be what ends up being, the most
Right.
efficient or the highest scoring strategy. So it's open to playing the tops and making sure you save the bottom, or you can play all across the field, whatever
Yeah.
makes the most sense. So there's a lot of strategy involved in this one, I think.
Ro, did you mention where we start and where we end?
So you start and end opposite the tunnel. So this game, you can't choose which end you want to start at. So yeah, you have to start back here. And you
Behind the
and
line.
dog, yeah, yeah, behind the throwing line, what we call or the 0 yard line, behind the 0 yard line, because we don't necessarily have to throw from here. But once time starts, that's the other thing. You cannot lead out from this. You don't have to throw from back there, but you can't lead out. So like it's not like 7-Up or Funky where I can get right up onto that next obstacle. I want both dog and person starting behind this line, and then once time starts, they're both now on the move. And you're sending your dog to an obstacle while you're trying to get in the position for that first catch. So you both have to start behind the line, and then in order to stop time, you, dog, and at least one disc have to be behind the line. So because you only get 3 discs, that means that the human has to at some point grab a disc, have that presence of mind to go and grab a disc and take it behind the line.
Yeah. This game is fun. I'd be interested to play that one for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of possibilities.
We had a lot of fun playing it. And I think in my notes to myself that I made, we had a good range of scores, from scores that didn't necessarily complete it. They were like all the way from like 15 was obviously they got some of the catches and some of the obstacles, but they didn't complete it. All the way up to the best score was 67. And that was with, a lot of room to grow. Because the dogs never played it. The humans never played it. They haven't figured out what's going to work best for them. And like I said, I think most of us, we stuck to kind of one side. But we did see a few people that would kind of move across the field for the obstacles. So lots of improvement for sure that can be made from teams that are getting the experience and trying to think of what's going to move best for their dogs. And then if we do change that sweet spot, the active sweet spot bonus to the 2, getting your third catch in the sweet spot, now we're going to have to think, all right, how am I going to make sure that I don't get a catch there when I don't want a catch there? So that'll be another interesting strategy to see people play out if we get to playing this on a larger scale.
What stops time again, bro?
You, dog, and 1 disc behind the line. Behind the 0 yard line.
Okay. I haven't played it, but it might be interesting to see. Like, I'm just thinking of like you said, players that are very fit can rely on maybe them getting around the field versus maybe a player that can't get around as well. I shouldn't say fit because you could be fit and not be able to get around the field well. But if they couldn't get around the field well and they found themselves over here at the 3 as they're doing the tunnel and then sending their dog, say, this way through the weaves and the jumps to go this way. I guess my question would just be, would you think of some way to reward somebody that can send their dog all this way across the line? And
Like snooker.
maybe they have to throw the disc to their dog. So like the disc, the time stops when the dog and disc are across the line. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out.
Yeah. And what you just said, because this was prior to the sweet spot bonus really making sense. Someone suggested, what you just said, like, what if I throw the disc behind the line? And I'm like, I don't know if this is like an official rule somewhere, but I feel like for all updog games, play is generally contained to the field. And what happens if, say this game makes it to updiv and someone throws the disc behind the field or trying to throw the disc behind the line, the wind catches it. You have space to updiv, but you don't always have that much space. I wouldn't want to send dogs into people who are like 10 yards behind because everyone's had an errant throw every now and again. So I'm averse to throwing the disc behind, like out of the field, like field of play. So that was my main reason I didn't like that.
Maybe
But if they are
maybe
able,
maybe it's this zone.
maybe,
Like you know what I mean? Like I could come
yeah,
across if I'm a active person, then yes, one way I could stop time is I get across this line too. If I'm not an active person, again, bad choice of words. If I'm not,
If you want
well,
to use
actually,
your athleticism to get through the game, then you will be running. If you want to use your
right. If
throwing
not,
skill and your
if I
agility
can train
skills,
my dog to go through this hoop, pass this
yeah.
line, and come back to this zone to get a catch, I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out, and I haven't even played the game, so don't even listen to me, Ro. Don't worry about it. When I play the game and I see if there's a huge disparity between folks that can run quickly and those that can't, I could see that them wanting like, like, well, wait a minute,
Option
how could
B,
we
yeah.
compete? Like how could we like are there strategies that would allow us to still be able to do it? Maybe they're not going to do as well as somebody, but they're not going to get blown away by them. You know what I mean?
yeah. I did have people of multiple ages that were able to play, and people who were less mobile or more mobile.
There you go. See, that's what I should
Playing.
have been saying the whole time. Why didn't you tell me?
I just wanted to see how you'd handle it.
Watch him flail around for a while, Ro. You're so kind.
For all
I
those
have to get my
couch
music started.
potatoes.
Yeah. So for the less mobile people who played, or not as mobile, I will say I could see where those people are able to effectively send the dog. So I don't know if this was clear. Your finishing sequence doesn't start with the tunnel. It actually starts with the jump or the obstacle opposite the direction you're taking. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
hi, sorry. I'm being
Ladybug can join.
This is Donut, actually.
Oh, Donut can join.
Ladybug, yeah. If anyone's my agility dog, it's him. So if you're able to send your dog over that jump and then call out tunnel, now your dog's in the tunnel, you can keep going, and that tunnel is going to be pointed right at the next obstacle they should take. And if you have your dog on verbals, or they're just familiar with like a jump grid or an obstacle grid like that, we saw a lot more dogs that were just like, look at all these obstacles right in front of me. And they really did take it. It was when the human was lagging behind that the dog did kind of look back. But if you're able to time it in a way that you can say you're at the 2 because you just got your sweet spot catch there, you can send your dog to that top jump in this diagram and then call out tunnel. And a lot of dogs know tunnel, and there's no other option for them to take because it's going to line them up perfectly to go for that. Now you can start booking it down the field, and you're only 25 yards away from the end. So while you send your dog there, obviously they're going to catch up to you at
25
some
yards
point.
from the end.
Yeah, it's only
No, that's
25
right.
yards from the end.
If you get going really fast, you probably face plant about right here.
This reminds me so much of human time warp. Like I just
Yeah.
imagine that, like I have flashes of human time warp happening.
Oh,
here.
but the
It's
human
like
doesn't.
people
Human
just
doesn't have
booking
to
it back
match.
as fast as they can, arms
No
pumping,
Crocs.
hair
No
blowing in the
Crocs.
wind.
Not even in safety mode.
Yeah.
Sport
Yeah.
mode.
Yeah.
They run it barefoot or run with shoes.
Jason definitely can't play this game.
No, not allowed. Need our Achilles intact, please and thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
No,
exactly what I thought of that exact scenario, Jack. That's what I was just thinking of and laughing because that human time warp year was really fun to watch. Except for that, I mean, that part.
I don't hope for people to hurt themselves at all, but I did want this to be a high energy athletic game from both human and dog. And I reached out to some agility or crossover centric people, and they read it and they're like, "This sounds exciting." And I even had a couple people reach out to me after they read it and they found it exciting. And these are names that you all know. I'm not going to drop them here, but I'm curious to see those people play it and see what they think, because I know a lot of these people, do have distance sends, and a lot of them run or they are fit. So I'm curious to see what they think. But that being said, even if you can't complete the game, you're still going to get points for it. So if you're someone that just wants to play as many games with your dog as possible, and maybe like play it more strategically where you are, training those distance ends, you're still going to earn all the points for the obstacles, for the catches. Even if you don't get the extra points added on, you still can get points for completing the game or completing the obstacles and the catches.
All right. Well, you guys, you got two amazing games here. I am definitely going to try this one out. I want to see how I do. I will rely on my ability to get around the field. I do not have distance ends with my dogs, but it could be something I could work on, like I don't have a reason to do it right now, but this could give me a reason. So Dre, first of all, before I jump into Time War Challenge, do you have any final questions about anything?
No, I'm gearing up my minute. I just got my minute timer pulled up and I got the questions
Okay.
pulled
All
up. I'm
right.
ready
All
to
right.
go. Same page, buddy.
Well, Ro, before we let you go, we wanted to run you through the Time Warp Challenge, which I'm pretty sure you know what this is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to ask you 10 questions. Dre and I will alternate back and forth. I'll ask the first one. You got 60 seconds, so don't think too long about anything. And we'll see what we find out about Roe, and also we'll see how quickly he can answer. The record for this is debatable. We have no idea.
Just finishing under a minute is the goal.
But most people don't even finish, so there you go. So if you finish, you're doing really good. If you complete the time warp, you're doing really good.
Maybe like Fastlane, they don't even finish. We'll see.
Yeah, right.
Right, but you still get points, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let me shut off this grid here. You guys can't see the
Nope, we're good.
the game anymore, right? Okay, good, because I want to make sure that everybody can see us as we're playing the game here.
Yep.
All right, Dre, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, hit it.
Ready, set, go.
All right, Ro, if you could only see the world in one color, what would you want that color to be?
Blue.
What's your favorite type of music?
Alt pop rock femme fatale.
Did you finish the answer there?
Yeah, that was it. That was still on.
Who is
We
your-
definitely don't have
who
enough
is-
time for this.
Who is your favorite superhero character?
Oh god, Captain Falcon.
Okay. Do you prefer driving a car, motorcycle, or bicycle? 28 seconds.
Can I throw in four-wheeler?
Sure.
There you go.
Four-wheeler, all right. What is your favorite activity to do with your dog besides disc?
15 seconds.
Ladybug says fast cat.
If given a chance, on whom would you spy? 7 seconds.
This is a loaded question.
3, 2, 1, and you lose. Never mind.
I feel like there's no right answer.
Wow.
You got off the hook. You got off the hook.
That was a risky
You're like,
question.
I'm gonna get in trouble if I answer this
It could
question on
be-
this podcast.
It could be somebody like out there in the bigger spectrum. It could be somebody local that you just want to know more about. Like,
Oh.
Let it die where it died.
Yeah.
It was pretty great.
I have a safe answer. There's a book series, Stormlight Archive, Brandon Sanderson. I'd want to know like what he's doing because he's got so much going on. Think like Lord of the Rings-esque high fantasy. That's what he writes. But that's a safe answer I can put out there.
There you go. Good job.
all right, the questions that we never got to was, is mayonnaise on French fries okay?
Aioli.
I'll give you that.
There you go.
And then we didn't even get to the name 3
We didn't-
thing, which is usually the one that makes people. And I purposely gave you an easy one.
I know. I was like, he's got
Three
he's got a
desserts.
grapefruit, but it was done by the second question. There was no coming back from the second
Yeah.
question. It was over.
What was the answer to that second question? That was the
It was a
music one.
femme fatale, pop rock femme fatale. Is that what you said?
If I go into my local record store, should they have a
And you
section
said that,
for that?
so that people know what that is.
Oh, like I didn't know how to put it because I listened to a lot. So like Regina Spektor. I listened to like Tegan and Sarah in college. I listened to Paramore. Like a lot of who I listen to are female artists. Just I don't know.
Okay.
It's just what it turned into. But they're all from different places. Like Ash Nico. Like like Ash Nico and Regina Spektor are not going to be on tour together. So there's just a lot of
I mean, I get it. I get it. It was hard to describe. You could have just, I don't know, said
Pop rock with chicks.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. I'll give you that.
The object is
all right. Well, unfortunately, time warp not complete, Rowe. Time warp not complete.
We did have the most customized answers ever. I don't think we've ever had that many customized answers. You even wanted a 4-wheeler.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I don't do 2-wheel. I don't like bicycles, motorcycles.
Our 4-wheeler's okay. Like, sure.
Oh gosh. Okay, but you have to admit the spying question was going to stump, I think, anyone.
I'm so happy that you just answered that in a way that you just feel good in your soul.
Yeah. Oh my god. We are non-confrontational here.
All right. I don't know where that was headed, so let's just leave it alone. And we are going to say to all of you updoggers, please get out there, try out these cool beta games. After you try them out, go back to the folder and give the creators some feedback. Ask them any questions that you had, any ideas that you've got. I know that the creators would be happy to hear it. They put in a lot of time, and honestly, even if you just reach out and you're like, "Hey, that was awesome, cool game," they're gonna love that. Because that's what makes it worth the time to put in to create something like this. Dre, what should we be doing?
We should be kind to yourself and each other. And
that sounds like you're not sure. And be kind to your animals. We will see you guys next time on Sweet Spot. And we get to close out with Ladybug. How awesome is that?
He offers lobotomies.
Heard the word on the street.
Thank you for having me.
It can't be beat. It ain't just fetch, it's a very special game for the dogs and the people. We all shout its name, whether it's a roller or in the air. My canine companion doesn't really care. We're in the up dog zone now. Got that laser focus, making every throw an epic high flying bonus. What's up, dog? We're on the field, sun in the sky, with my best friend soaring, teaching that just to fly. It's the up dog jingle, so come get in the mix for the ultimate teamwork and all the best tricks. From throw and go to freestyle, we're bringing the heat. We're fun, helpful, and a friendly team that can't be beat. So if you love your pup and you love to see the disc really spin, come on down to Up Dog, where the good times begin.
Yeah, where the good times begin.